Greetings and welcome to what is indeed the final one of these videos, at least for the foreseeable future. And I will go into details at the end because the reasons, there are multiple, but they're all kind of a bummer and a downer, and I don't want to start the video like that because dang it, it's Christmas or close to it. And so let's just, for now, ignore all the problems of life and just focus on unboxing these delightful gifts, these donations that y'all have sent in over the previous most of the year, actually. I guess the last one of these was back in March of 2024. So yeah, for one last time, let's do one of these videos. All right. Got one here from Evan. That's very purple. Got a note here. Hello LGR, I have enjoyed your channel for years. I've collected so many old PC games from thrift stores, and I doubt I'll ever play them all. Me and you both. Enjoy the Jazz figurine. It's my first resin printer project, and I hope to do more in the future. I remember this now. I believe it was shared on social media, and I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. And I offered to send one along. Wow! All right, that is so much cooler looking in person. Wonderful, wonderful details on Jazz there. That looks great. And fantastic paint job as well. That's not easy to do. I've tried painting a few miniatures myself recently, and yeah, this looks wonderful. Thank you so much for sending this in. I love unique little things like this, especially over to my favorite characters. Thank you, Evan. All right, well, we got one here from Jeff. Lots of CPU stickers. Oh, wow. A whole lot of CPUs. And we got a lot of CPUs from a lot of different generations and sockets. And oh, yeah, just a lot of things from all kinds of generations. No note in there that I saw, but yeah, I'm sure there was an email. Yeah, he just said he's a vintage computer junkie himself and thought I would see if I was interested in the box of old processors he has. Have had them in a collection for years, just have no use for them anymore. And there is a list of them right here. So 100 megahertz Pentium, that Pentium Pro, of course, lovely thing. 800 megahertz Celeron, 2.8 gigahertz Pentium 4, an Intel Xeon, Pentium MMX, Pentium 3, Core 2 Duo, a 46SX, Athlon something or other, and a couple of K62s. Yeah, things that I hope that I can put to use in some form of builds here and there going forward whenever I get around to start being able to do that again. They definitely all have some bent pins, but nothing looks tremendously damaged. Still, all useful stuff. That Pentium Pro is especially nice to have another one of these. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, got this long one here from William. I got a note here. Greetings. Apologies for not getting this package to me sooner. It's perfectly fine. I hope this card will pair nicely with the PC Transporter card you purchased from me previously. It wasn't doing any good sitting in storage. Take care, and as always, look forward to more content. Yeah, look forward to making it. And I do remember this being offered now. So I bought that card to let you run PC stuff on an Apple II. I think a 2GS in particular. Lovely. So this is a GS RAM Plus by Applied Engineering. So a RAM add-on of some kind. Was this a floppy interface there? I don't really know. Yeah, a RAM board that can add 6 megs of memory. I mean, yeah, I just don't know if it's necessarily for just the 2GS or if it is helpful with that board, the PC Transporter that I got from them. Anyway, either way, it's a board that is cool. Going to the Apple IIgs, trying to see what that interface does, the connector on there. Apple IIgs is limited in expanded system memory up to 8 megs, but only 4 megs is DMA. So I guess that connects to something else and allows you to go above that. Fascinating. Thank you again. All right, well, this one just looks like a standard Amazon package, but it's addressed to me, not something I ordered, so we'll see what it is. So a gift for me. I hope this book gives you some enjoyment as we remember the old days. This is in version 1. Version 2 will be out soon with minor text and photo improvements. Mike from MVT Computers. All right. From Michael John Nerney, 8-Bit Stories. Home computing in 1980s Britain. Well, heck yeah. I mean, you know, he did say it was an early edition or revision, but it does seem to be packed with all sorts of fascinating information here. So, yeah, densely packed, really. So thank you very much for sending that over. Let me see if there was an email. So yeah, there was an email. It doesn't say much more, though, just that he's got a book coming out and wondered if I would like to take a look at it. As Mike's Vintage Tech on YouTube. So thank you very much. All right, got one here from I Don't Know. Don't see a name. All right, so it's from ZVI. Enjoy this weird speaker mouse I found in Rome. I hope it's as odd as it looks. Well, yes. I do remember this now. Sound the mouse. Possess of the high controllability and the accuracy. Digital speaker mouse FS01. From what I recall, we couldn't find like anything about this except that it it just had all of this delightful copy on here. The new concept. Audio Talk Optical 3-in-1 design. Low noise, low power, high fidelity. Key in one, the use of more comfortable, a more dynamic fashion design. Yes. Yes. Gotta say, I don't see too many Italian oddware mouse devices come along. So there's actually more in an email. A friend and I visited the big Porta Portese flea market held Sunday mornings in Rome. And among seemingly endless fashion stands, there was one selling decrepit electronics, all €2 each. And this was among them. That's wonderful. Thank you very much for a future oddware or odd mouse video topic. All right, got one here from Anders Enger Jensen. Presumably new music. All right. Clint, here's a floppy disk with the recent soundtracks for David's Games, Attack of the Pesky Robots, and Planet X3 in MIDI file format. Compatible with any SE55 or better model and any GM-compliant sound device. Best played on SE55. That makes sense. And I couldn't remember if I got the 8-track earlier, so I chucked one in there too. Awesome. I'm out of gum anyway. Hey, look at that Dead Space Marine. Thank you, Anders, as always. Let's see what we got in here. Wow. So yeah, this is a different kind of release indeed, but a welcome one. So yeah, the soundtracks in MIDI format for Pesky Robots and X3. It's just super cool. You could play this in, I mean, any number of ways, but dang it, I keep forgetting that I don't have a house anymore with all my stuff in it. But yeah, those like standalone MIDI playing devices from Roland. There are different types. I have several of them. That'd be cool. Be cool to play on that. This is just cool. Anyway, I don't have an 8-track player, but dang, it's cool. I mean, I welcome any 8-track releases. So the best of Anders music. Oh, it's already coming open. On a proper 8-track. Wonderful. I got a Comtrues album. I believe it was Galactic Melt on 8-track. Yeah, sometime earlier this year as well. So now I'm just like slowly accumulating these new 8-track releases. I need to get a player at some point. Oh, thank you very much, sir. All right, got one here from Matt. I got a note. Clint, 5 or 6 months late. Nah, it arrived precisely when it meant to. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Matt. This is a heck of a thing here. Don't see many of these at all. This is an internal drive from LG. And not only is it light scribe and CDRW and DVD burning, but also Blu-ray and HD DVD. Super multi-blue. I have never heard of this kind of thing before. This many formats and options in just one thing. Yeah, Blu-ray and HD DVD together in one thing from 2007. So yeah, this is the GGCH20L. Yeah, what an oddity. Hope it works. We do have some software too, which if not archived, I will make sure it is. Yeah, this is just great. Thank you very much. I need to, let's see, what would I put this in? Maybe the XP build, or I could do like a Windows 7, or probably Vista build would actually be kind of ideal. Either way, thank you. This is such an oddity. All right, got one here from the UK, from Daniel. Oh yeah, that's right. We got a This Week in Retro mug here. Look at those mugs on the mug. Top notch. Yeah, listen to this every single weekend. I have not missed an episode. It's just a good time. Thank you very much for sending this over. I will use it to drink. We've got another one here from the UK, a rather floofy one from Jennifer, I think. Oh. Well, I just felt floofy because I was feeling all of the bubble wrap. Oh, hey, this is neat. All right. Greetings from Scotland. A while ago, someone sent you the CD for the Simpsons Virtual Springfield. Well, here is the box. Being a massive Simpsons fan, I obviously want to keep my CD since it's not available for digital download anywhere, but I'm not fussed about the box, so I thought I'd ask if you wanted it. Yes, I never carry peanuts of any kind with me since you never know who's allergic to them, so enjoy the bubble wrap instead. Jenny, thank you very much for that nice packaging job. And yeah, Virtual Springfield in the box, or just the box to go with the disc that I have. That's just wonderful. I have never seen the box. Yeah, it's a very well-made game from what little of it I've messed around with. I haven't gone completely through it or anything, but I did try it out finally, and yeah, it's just an immersive experience. Navigable 3D universe with over 50 interactive locations, hundreds of action sequences, original cast recordings, 35,000 frames of original animation. It's quite impressive. And there we go. I will have to find that disc and put it in there and make this nice and complete. That is a very generous, thank you very much for sending it over from Scotland. All right, we got one here from Marshall. It appears to be another mug. A larger one too, okay. Oh, Micro Center, heck yeah. One of the few and honestly most excellent electronics computer kind of stores that are still around here in the US. Just got one here in North Carolina finally, and that is where this is from. So Micro Center Charlotte had a big grand opening. I haven't actually been over to it yet. I was going to at the end of summer, and well, other things happened. But yeah, this is apparently from there. See, this is what, one of those 16, 18, I don't know, just larger mugs. And we also have a little dongle-y thing. It's just got a bunch of ports. Oh, I'm assuming, yeah, okay. So probably like USB-A to Lightning, Type-C, and micro USB. Handy. Well, thank you very much for sending this over. I need to get over there. They had this awesome 3D printer display in particular that it was kind of going slightly viral online. Just it had so much going on. I don't know if it's still going because honestly it looked a little bit hazardous, but yeah, just what a cool looking display. What a great store that I'm not sponsored by. I kind of wish I was. All right, got this one here from I don't know because I don't see a name. From Nico. Hi, Clint. Work was having a free excess office supplies clear out and tucked away behind endless staples and stamps. I saw these bright 90s colors and knew a rescue was needed. Ah, yes. Hope it's useful. Thank you for all the years of content and entertainment. You're very welcome, Nico. And thank you for sending over this lovely thing. The packaging is truly incredible. And yes, these are darned useful. I have all kinds of loose discs that need more of these things. So, yeah, a 53.5-inch diskette holder for your floppies. I mean, this is just so excessive. I love that kind of packaging. It's just computery for no good reason, except it was the 90s and that's just what you did. High impact plastic. All right. Sure. That part maybe. This top part, these always break. And that's why I always have to get more of them. Because I've had so many of these shatter over the years. Oh, this one is new. Like straight up new old stock. Oh, that's great. Look at that. Got the keys in there. Yeah. Thank you for rescuing this. Oh, that's good stuff. All right, got one here from Frederick. All right, got a note here. Freddie says, hello, might not be into vintage PCs at all, but your channel is fun to watch. Glad to hear that. Found this software at a thrift store in the Milwaukee area and picked it up because it was charmingly dated. Heck yeah. A piece of model railroad and PC history. Also, any chance we could see some of the Railroad Tycoon games or Chris Sawyer's Locomotion reviewed in the future? I was just actually seeing Ahoy's recent video going over Chris Sawyer's stuff, and Locomotion, I was like, dang, that's one I forgot about. I wanted to play that since forever, and it kind of gave me the itch. So maybe, who knows? That's one that I would like to try out. Thank you for the interest and for sending over whatever this is. Oh, it's an Abracadabra product. One of my favorite company names. But yeah, check this out. Design your own railroad. Design precision to scale and run realistic railroad simulations. I know nothing about model railroads, but this seems intriguing. Heck yeah. Desktop railroading, better than a model railroad in your basement. I don't know about better, but that's awesome. I'm interested to see what the heck this actually is like to use. So, okay, it's for Apple II and IBM PC, potentially. I mean, this says for IBM PC and compatibles. That would be unusual for it to have both. Yeah, this is just the IBM PC version of this. Still, though, fascinating, and the fact that it's all here, that's just wonderful. Wow, this manual, too. Oh, substantial. Some wonderful artwork. This is great. Dude, yeah, it's 100 and some pages. There's some love put into this. All these photocopied things. So yeah, if anybody's ever used this, let me know. I'm curious if this is half decent for the time. Because like I said, I don't know anything about model railroading at all, but I have always admired and respected the hobby from afar as somebody who enjoys model making and miniatures, especially functional miniatures. Model railroading kind of seems like the end game for my interests in particular. So yeah, 60 bucks is what it costs when it came out in 1993, it looks like. Heck yeah. Thank you very much for rescuing this and sending it over. All right, got one here from Jack. All right, well, Merry Christmas. So we have an Apple Desktop Bus Mouse 2 in the box, potentially. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That is new and as fresh as it gets. I gotta smell it. Oh, look at that. Never seen one of these this pristine. Oh yeah, smells pretty good. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Jack, for sending this over. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I have a good number of systems that can make use of a mouse as clean as this. Seriously, I don't think I've ever seen one in its original color like that. It's much more gray than I'm used to seeing. They're usually yellowed and used and worn and all that. All right, got one here from Matthew. Well, this is an interesting GPU. This is an ATI Fire MV 2400 multi-view graphics accelerator, PCI Express 256 megs of memory. And this right here, I have been looking for something exactly like this because I have a display that I think can make, well, probably perfect use of this. And it requires actually 4 of these to control the display. Either way, I actually didn't know that this exact model of card existed. So yeah, when I got in touch and was like, dude, I have this thing, could it be useful to you? I'm like, you have no idea how useful it could be, almost perfectly so. And I really hope that it not only functions, but does what I need. Yeah, look at that. So it's like a SCSI connector almost. And then it goes out to your DVIs over there. But then you also have the other one here. So you get 4 outputs. That's just wild. Yeah. Definitely never used anything quite like that. A lovely ATI red. Hail Canada. With some VGA adapters in there too. But yeah, well, thank you very much for this. This should be awesome for an upcoming video on LGR. All right, this one here from Josh. Yeah. Sorry it took so long to send this. No worries. Hope I can use it. Me too. We'll see. Thanks, Josh. And that's a heck of a joystick. Look at this. Let's unwrap that shaft. Well, that is substantial and feels quite good, actually. Yeah, nice and strong springage going on there. There's a metal base, too. This is one of those high-end Suncom Technologies sticks, the F15E Talon. Only seen these, if I've ever seen them, in their catalogs. Certainly never had anything this substantial back in the day. I was a craft kid. Craft with a K, like the mac and cheese. Yeah, I only ever had those. This was a dream. I mean, this is insane. This is awesome. So it doesn't have a rudder necessarily or throttle or anything, but they were probably one of those things where that stuff was sold separate if this was part of a system. A lot of these were like kits, you know. A lot of the Thrustmaster ones were. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what these pass-throughs are for. That's fantastic, though. Thank you very much, Josh. Oh yeah, so there were definitely some extras that went with that. So the Suncom Strike Fighter series. So you have your HOTAS stuff over there. That's really cool. Pretty heavy one here, and it does not have a name on it. Windows 3.1 Visual Pocket Guide. Is there a note? I think this is a note. It is from Alan. Greetings, Clint. Oh my goodness, this is from June. Enclosed is the Anywhere phone book we recently discussed. The reason I originally backed this silly device in Kickstarter is because it seemed to be a sort of realization of an idea I blogged about way back in the day. In 2005, I made a post suggesting that eventually we might use our phones as primary PCs and dock them into a larger screen, keyboard, etc. Then, by all accounts, the execution of the phone book was severely lacking, and it was delivered years later than projected. And a lot of backers of this never received their devices at all. Ooh, one of those. Also enclosed is the Pocket Guide. It will fill my day with joy. And always nice to see a new LGR video pop up. Thank you. And yes, this is a fascinating little booklet indeed. Ooh, it's in color. Oh, that's just lovely. Oh, man. Oh, that's so pleasant. Wow. It was $14.99 back in the day. Well, lovely. I don't think I was familiar with this, but when I was describing it in that email, I was like, okay, this is definitely some current day or slightly newer oddware kind of thing to cover here. So the Anywhere phone book, multifunctional display for smartphones. So I'm assuming it's DeX-like, or like some of the phone companies have also made these types of things where they are basically, it's like a laptop without any of the smarts in it, and then it connects to your phone and turns it into one. Okay, wow, this is all in here. Wonderful. And here we go. It is a slab. It's like the most cut down kind of MacBook looking thing you've ever seen. That's all you get. It's very wide. So, yeah, full keyboard, not clicky at all. Oh, that does sort of, oh no, that's weird. So there's like hidden mouse buttons under the, right here and right here, and they feel really bad. This whole thing feels really bad in terms of cheapness. Plastic. Oh, that's a bad keyboard too. Don't like that. Wow. So not good first impressions, but will it work as it says it would? In fact, I don't even know how it says it would. The Kickstarter, I'm not familiar with. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, so the Kickstarter, yeah, turn any smartphone into a laptop computer. Any smartphone. And yeah, I guess it raised almost $500,000. I don't know when that was, but the last update was in 2021. I'm really curious to look into this. Yeah, so they're actually mentioning DeX here, saying unlike Samsung DeX, which only supports a handful of their own models, this one supports all smartphones, iOS, and Android Star. Yeah, the idea isn't the worst. So the Kickstarter was in 2019, But, you know, according to his note here, a lot of people actually didn't get theirs, or maybe there were some delays or troubles, or, you know, who knows. But either way, it exists. Here it is. I'm very curious to give this a shot sometime. So thank you very much. This is some fascinating potential modern oddware, or oddware eventually, right? I mean, everything is oddware eventually. All right, well, this one here is from Travis and is slightly concerning because it has this hazmat warning sticker on it. All right. So it says, a little something extra to keep you fueled up. Hope you enjoy. Okay. I might have read these out of order. So yeah, we have a Northern Lights postcard there. Broadway Mountain. Yeah, it says, as discussed on Patreon, here is the ThinkPad R31. Hope it brings you many years of good service. Me too. Greetings from Michigan's beautiful Upper Peninsula. Thanks for all that you do. P.S. Loving the LGR Birds channel. Very relaxing to have on during the workday. Thank you. I hope you're still enjoying it here at the new temporary location while my house is being rebuilt. But yeah, let's check this thing out and whatever else is in here. Is this why it was considered hazardous materials? It shouldn't be. So yeah, it's got a chocolate bar, a Youper bar. That sounds interesting. 72%, that's nice. And some coffee. Oh, Keweenaw Coffee Works, Youper blend. Oh, there's another one in here. It's a milk chocolate variety. I'm not seeing any toxic sludge or anything. So I don't know what the hazmat was about. All right, so we have a swappable IBM floppy drive there. Oh, look at that. That is in beautiful shape. So yeah, IBM ThinkPad, a newer one than I would normally get. But yeah, this one here, the R31. Oh, this is brilliant, I think. So yeah, I got that delightful 4:3 aspect ratio screen and all of the ThinkPad design and quality. But this is a Celeron XP era thing. Let me put the camera back. But yeah, from 2002. And they also were available with the Pentium 3. This one has the Celeron, I think, or 1.2 gigahertz, something like that. And up to 256 megs of RAM. Integrated graphics and sound, which are just kind of normal for, you know, whatever. It's nothing insane, right? But this one was so clean. It's in such nice shape. And honestly, I've been looking, or just kind of finding a need for a Windows 2000 or XP laptop. Instead of having to grab one of the other big machines or later machines or beefy, ridiculous, crazy laptops I have, like the Lamborghini or whatever. This is much more reasonable. I love the ThinkPads from a bit before this era, and this seems to be holding up in terms of the quality, and just everything about it is beautiful. So thank you very much. And also for the hazardous materials. I do wonder about the battery. It doesn't seem to have a charge at the moment. Maybe this one will recharge. We'll see. Nice. Very nice. All right, well, CMOS battery's dead. To be expected. So don't actually know if it has an operating system or even a hard disk for that matter. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Nice. So we do indeed have a hard disk with Windows XP. This thing is beautiful. It really is. It looks practically unused cosmetically. Some darn loud speakers in there too. Wow, look at this. Wonder if it is a fresh install or... It's already got my name on it. Oh man. So I'm assuming so. Thank you for going through the trouble of pre-configuring and making this look all like new. That's great. I'm just going to assume that the battery does not work. I don't know. It'd be great if I could find one. We will see. Either way, this is a delightful machine, and I will absolutely be putting it to use for trying out different devices and, just the sort of era of early 2000s things without having to bring out an entire desktop setup. Sometimes this is all you need. In fact, a lot of times this is all I need. And this is great. Plus, we got the hot swap, I don't know if it's hot swappable, but swappable floppy drive there, so you can take the CD drive out and do that. That's just phenomenal. Oh, this will be great to put to use. Thank you. All right, we've got quality toilet seat covers from Brandon. Super Fighter team, always sending interesting things, and of course, putting Discman illustrations, comics, the ongoing story. I got a readme.txt here. Clint, best wishes for a quick home repair. Shame such a nice fella had to be stricken with such a catastrophe. Yeah, tell me about it. Well, like it or not, I have some more big box PC games for you. Mayhaps ogling the pretty cartoon girls in Cobra Mission will help you to relax. I am familiar with that one. Or try playing Body Blows. Also familiar with that. Oh my goodness. Well, all right. Thank you very much for the kind words and the levity and the generosity and just being an awesome dude for years. All right. Ninja Golden 2. Ninja Gaiden 2? Includes ultra rare Tandy/EGA version. Yeah, there we go. So I do have a manual. Ninja Gaiden 2 Dark Sword of Chaos for the PC. Like it's just like a complete photocopy of the front of the box, including the system requirements sticker. Registration there. Oh wow, somebody even wrote in there the command to start it up in DOS. Nice. I only have the first one, and yeah, not familiar with this one for, well, I'm referring to the PC one. I only have the first one on PC, so this one, never played it. So yeah, Tandy EGA version is completely separate, it looks like, from the VGA and MCGA. Different discs and everything. Yeah, that's the one I have. What the heck? $500? What the heck? People are insane. What the heck is going on, man? Just because it's sealed? Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot more than I paid. Sheesh. I think I might have paid $15, but that was years ago. Anyway, so what else we got here? Body Blows. Wonderful to have this boxed. Team 17 game. This is one that I've always wanted to get some boxed version of. Genuinely. I like collecting a lot of these more odd sort of fighting games and side-scrolling beat-em-ups and anything like that you don't normally see a ton of for DOS. But yeah, this one right here, that's great. Brutal Paws of Fury. Can't recall if I have a copy of this or not, but either way, as an awesome box that I don't recall seeing this version of. It's on CD as well. Nice. Yeah. Good big box fart. And then this one, I don't know. Something from Soft China, The Chosen Soul. I guess some good artwork. Just got like a, oh, it opens like this. That's intriguing. Nice. I'm sure there's something special about this, considering Brandon sent it. And then last, but absolutely not least, I am blown away to see this. Believe it or not, I have been looking for a copy of this in a box for a very long time for reasons, as this is Cobra Mission. Private investigator wanted to rescue Desperate Beauty. This is a Megatech game, and I have several of theirs, and they all come in these like exact same style of boxes where they're a little bit narrower and they're a little bit taller, a little bit thicker, and they always have interesting themes. So yeah, this is just one of those games that, yeah, for whatever reason, has cost a lot to get for a long time. I think I've had an eBay search going for like 10 years. Yeah, there it is. There it is. That's wild to see. Yeah, look at this. So yeah, I think the first one of theirs that I was familiar with was Metal and Lace. Again, because of like the interesting PC fighting game kind of thing. Yeah, this one right here. Battle of the Robo Babes. I mean, honestly, it just has very well done artwork. It's nice and high res and everything. Yeah, this one, I've never seen a copy of this, I don't think. Dragon Knight 3? They didn't make like a ton of things. Yeah, Cobra Mission, Metal and Lace, Dragon Knight 3. I want to say I have one other game from them, but I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, that's Cobra Mission, version 1.3. That is wild. Oh, we got copy protection codes. Delightful. 1992. It's a little bit late to have those. Well, I don't know. But yeah, Cobra Mission, in terms of like the actual gameplay itself, it seems to be pretty involved in terms of like a big open-ish world adventure type of thing. All right, yeah, that's one of the other one I was trying to think of, Knights of Zentar. Anyway, thank you very much, Brandon, for the very generous goodies. Okay, and finally, last one, the largest and heaviest, from Jason. Look at this. Look at this. It's a Butler home computer. It does it all. That's a computerized telephone with an answering machine and surveillance and fire protection, energy savings, message management, speech output, 24-hour servant. The heck. Can't say I ever heard of this whatsoever. So when Jason said, look at this thing, do you want it? I'm like, heck yeah, dude. I didn't see a note in the box, but the email says is getting rid of a lot of old electronics that doesn't know what to do with this. Some kind of early home automation with speech synthesis. Opened it once and it's like new. He might have been the first person to ever open it. And he says it actually does call you master as you use it. It's a very odd device, and what the heck, man. The fact that it's got so many buttons and speech synthesis apparently, I am really curious to try this out. Like, truly, deeply so. Ooh, little LCD, and it's got a, oh man. It's a complete home control computer that interfaces to your home by simply plugging into an AC outlet and attaching its telephone line to any other modular jack. It's got a real-time clock, 16K of memory, monitors home security and communication functions. Yeah, but how? Doing, what does it connect to other things? What does it do? Because, you know, I've covered things like the X10 products and whatnot. That's a whole separate deal. And that does communicate through power. So I'm wondering if this is also like a power line communication thing. My word. Look at all these things. This is screaming X10 or some similar version. This is an 8-track, but yeah, we've got these like plug modules here. So appliance module, lamp module, thermostat control. Don't know what the 8-track is for. The fire alarm module. Wow, dude. It looks like a cash register terminal or oh my goodness. Oh, that smell is insane. That is a massive old electronics smell. That just capacitors and electrolytic, plasticky, just deeply toxic. It is filling the room with just aroma. But this is amazing. The fact that it's like not used. I mean, I guess it was used briefly by Jason, but yeah, basically unused. So this has to be like an X10 type thing. It's gotta be. On a quick search though, I'm finding like nothing, man. Like somebody's got the manual on archive.org. That's about it. So I'll have to do some deeper research into magazines and newspapers or whatever, man, because there's gotta be some write-ups about this. This looks insane. This looks insane. Well, thank you very much for sending over this just ridiculous thing from the 80s. And that is it for this video and this type of video here on LGR. I mean it, this is the end. I'm not doing any more of these. And like I said at the beginning, there are several reasons for it. And the first one you can probably guess is the stupid hurricane. For those of you who are somehow unaware, Hurricane Helene hit the Appalachian Mountains in September 2024 and wrecked a whole bunch of the area. This is a once in a century kind of event. We don't get hurricanes. We're 2,500 feet up in elevation. It was just unexpected and bizarre and catastrophic for a lot of folks, and unfortunately that included my house, which is still currently wrecked. I'm here in a rental, And literally everything that I have is in storage, other than the stuff I need to make these LGR videos and necessities and things like that. So I have no interest in receiving more stuff right now. And these I just have because they were, you know, people said they were going to send them, like you saw, the messages, right? They were from some of them a year or so ago. And like, it was one of these things where, you know, I kind of just need to get these things opened up, and I may as well just do one last video. And unfortunately, they're going to go into storage because that's the situation right now. And that's not how I want any of this stuff to be treated. And I don't know when I'm going to be able to get all that out again, and where even I'm going to put it after that, because I'm rethinking a lot of stuff about life and my house and storage and this job and just the responsibility of having these things. And there's a lot on my mind. And one thing that I do know is that I don't want to put all the stuff that I did have in my house back into my house. And until I figure out what's going to happen with all of it, I'm absolutely not going to be taking in a bunch of stuff like this anymore. And so I don't want to make videos about doing it because that sort of encourages it. And, you know, I'm not saying I'm never going to take any more donations. Obviously, if there's something that comes across my inbox that is extremely bizarre and I've never even heard of and I would never know about if not for a donation, like this Butler computer, I'll probably still say yes to something like that if I think I can make a video about it in a timely fashion. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just cutting off all things. And in fact, to that end, something else that really sucks is my situation with even receiving packages. So for like a decade now, I've relied on one of those shipping station stores where they have boxes that you rent for a business, and then all your mail goes to there and it's stored until you can come pick it up. And, you know, one of those things that you do as a YouTuber business so you don't have stuff going directly to your house. Well, unfortunately, that's one of the places that was destroyed, and I mean destroyed, during the Hurricane Helene. It was completely ran through with a flood, actually. It was under about 4 feet of water, and not just regular rainwater. This was nasty, disgusting water filled with sewage and other debris and materials and hazardous stuff. So they had to throw away everything that was there that got affected by that. I mean, unfortunately, that includes a good number of the packages that y'all had sent in from, I think, the beginning of August to the end of September. So when I finally went back there after the storm and saw that the business had literally washed away, they actually took me out back to, I think, where they had these storage lockers, and what was left you could sift through and see if there was anything that was yours. And because it had been a while since I'd picked up packages, there were about 10 of them that I was expecting, and there was only one of them there, and it was in rough shape. So we started going through the whole process of trying to figure out like which ones were destroyed in the storm and like who those came from and all that. And the next day they actually called me back and said, actually, luckily we actually found another 5 packages that weren't destroyed. They were up high enough inside the store, and they were just behind some stuff we didn't see them that first day. So luckily not everything that y'all sent in from that time period was destroyed, but I think there were maybe 4 or 5 or so that were. So if you did send in something, probably after like late July to mid to late September, and you didn't see it here, chances are it was destroyed in the flood. And I am very sorry for that. Please reach out to me and we could figure something out. But yeah, that's just another reason. Like on top of all these other things where I'm just like, I don't want to do the donations anymore. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this final video in this long-running kind of series, I suppose, at least for the foreseeable future. I mean, my house hasn't even started being rebuilt yet. And like I said, I don't know what I want to do with all the LGR stuff after it is rebuilt. I don't want to put it back in my house. I really don't. You know, even though I've cut down all the trees and I'm not expecting another once-in-a-century hurricane in the Appalachian Mountains, I still don't want all that stuff back in my house. Like after it was all taken out, I felt a real sense of relief. So I got to figure something else out about all the stuff that I have. So like I said, it is gonna be a while before all that's figured out, and I'm just not gonna be doing any of these videos. So yeah, we'll get back to the usual LGR things and just going through some of this stuff and the other things, the way many other things that I have in storage, and yeah, get to some projects that I've been putting off for way too dang long. Anyway, thank you very much for your ongoing support and hopefully understanding through all this craziness. and for generously sending these things in. Again, I'm sorry for the things that got destroyed, but they were thrown away before I even got there because apparently they were covered in raw sewage. So I guess that's understandable. But anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.